Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to my channel for another Hot Toys exclusive 1/6 scale Star Wars figure unboxing and review. Technically, this guy is billed as a Clone Wars release, but I mean, come on, we all know what this guy is really from. Today, we're taking a look at Clone Commando Boss from Republic Commando. Now, I got mine at a discount from Pop Collectibles. I've popped a link to their site in the description, along with the discount code Justin's Collection, for 5% off your order if you decide to buy from them. As always, do your own research, make sure you're comfortable before buying. If you're heading down to the description, why not hit that subscribe, bell notification icon, and join button, so you're notified as soon as reviews for the rest of Delta Squad go live on the channel. Because completing this team, I think, is a pretty safe bet at this point. We've got 2 of the 4, they've both been exclusive. Exclusives always sell out, so Hot Toys are making their money on them. And they've already shown us Sev and Fixer in like a little teaser pic. You know, people seem to have a love-hate relationship with these commandos. On one hand, they're mad that they're exclusive and they can't get them. But on the other, they say that they wish they weren't based off the animation Clone Wars for Boss and Bad Batch for Scorch because they look a little bit too skinny. Howard, the CEO of Hot Toys, actually told a buddy of mine when we were at ACGHK last year that for some reason Lucasfilm, Disney, whoever's in charge, said that they weren't going to grant them the license for Republic Commando, so this was their only option to make the Commandos at all. If that is indeed the case, then you know what? I'm on board with this, but we'll discuss that more a little bit later. As for the box art, up front, an image of Boss, Hot Toys exclusive foil sticker in the top left-hand corner, glossy wraparound banner in the Bad Batch color scheme with the salmon orange in the background, then red as the accent color for everything else, and there's some figure photography on that glossy banner. This video is brought to you by Justin's Collection.shop, the home of the figure first aid kit, as well as other accessories to help your collection be the best it can be. The first aid kit contains multiple tools to help you with maintenance, styling rooted hair, and much more. We also sell crotch grabbers, soft rubber tips to prevent damage, and they're compatible with most modern Hot Toys base molds. Acrylic risers come in multi-packs, they're optically clear, thick and sturdy, and stackable. Check out the link to Justin's Collection.shop in the description. And another shot of Boss on the side of the box, once again on that banner. Warnings and legal information on the back, including this one, letting us know that his helmet is still powered by button cell batteries. He's wearing a freaking backpack, Hot Toys. Put the batteries inside the backpack, AA's, AAA's, whatever, and transfer power into the helmet. We know you can do it. It's also good to see that their latest store, it's called Powergate, is now listed on the back of their figure boxes. Usually they go a little bit harder than this for the slipcover artwork. I was expecting a recreation of the cover art for the game, with Boss doing the 2-finger pointing pose, you know the one, but it looks fine. We've got an image of Boss up front, Scorch behind him, the Imperial Commando off to the other side, then all the way in the back there, the plain white Commandos, and I actually forgot all about them, but now that I remember they're coming, I'm really excited to get one. First in-hand impressions for Boss, he's a lot more weathered than I was expecting. That's a good thing. I like the way this looks. What we're going to do now is get all of his accessories laid out in the light box, and take a closer look at everything he comes with. Starting off with the display base first, on its own, more than serviceable. Typical rectangular Star Wars base mold, heavy scratches on the gunmetal top plate, that looks awesome. Clone Commando Boss for the nameplate, then up top, a wide scoop, height adjustable crotch grabber. What more could I want? Well, a little bit of consistency would be nice across the team, because this is Scorch's base. Different color of gunmetal for the top plate, way less weathering, and the nameplate says Clone Commander instead of Commando. Hopefully for the rest of the team we get this style of base, because I much prefer it versus what we got with Scorch. Not really an accessory, more so just part of his look. His Clone Commando backpack, we've seen this mold before, but not in this colorway with the burnt orange up top and the pops of blue and red. The blue's looking a little bit messy on mine. Fingers crossed yours doesn't look like that. it is heavily weathered. There's this speckling of black paint and the grey and the white scratches, the brown washes. You can tell that Boss has been through some serious shit. And the backpack is functional. You can open it up and store stuff inside of it. Spare hands, other accessories. So when you want to change up the pose, you don't have to go rifling through accessory tubs to find the accessories. They'll already be on his back. And the backpack attaches to his armor with a magnet. And there's also a foam pad back here to protect his armor from the backpack so nothing gets scratched up when you're installing it. Out of everything the Boss comes with, this is his only real new accessory. At least I think it's new. I don't remember getting this with any other clone figures. His data pad's got this printed screen on it. It's a sticker. Mine is a little bit misaligned. Don't love that. There's a black wash over the top, and it's got this real, like, gritty, textured feel to it. You'll see what I mean when you get yours in hand. Look at the shine on that silver paint right there. The main body of his blaster is quite reflective, but there's a decent amount of schmutz on it, so it looks absolutely filthy, just like the backpack. You can remove the clip on the side, and the front part comes off, not easily, mind you, but we don't have any of the Republic Commando attachments. Maybe with their next releases we can get some of them. Surely, at least the sniper bits and pieces. His DC-17 blaster pistols, we've seen these so many times over the years. They're painted in gunmetal first, then there's some silver speckling and dry brushing over the top. And lastly, some hands. Now that I'm seeing what's included, I understand why they didn't do that iconic two-finger pointing pose with Boss on the slipcover. They didn't give us a two-finger pointing gesture hand. How could you not do that, Hot Toys? I know they've got that mold in rotation. They've given us two-finger pointing hands with clone troopers in the past. All they would need to do is switch out the back hand armor to make it accurate to Boss. Instead, we get two trigger finger hands. You can pry the fingers open and pop the weapons in there without having to grab a hairdryer. They're made of a soft-ish PVC plastic. They're sturdy enough, they'll still hold their shape and hold the weapons, no problem. Relaxed open palm hand for the left, splayed out finger hand for the right, relaxed open palm hand for the right, and a single finger pointing hand. It's not what it's supposed to be, the two finger point, but to do the pose, I think you could get away with it. Oh, in the hand armor, we've got that burnt orange and different weathering patterns from left to right. What we're going to do now is get Clone Commando Boss himself out here. Standing straight up and down in the light box, no crazy poses or accessories or anything like that. Well, except for the backpack, I've popped it on his back just to complete the look. What a piece. Is he a masterpiece? Well, he might actually be, just in terms of sculpt and paint and detail, and the light up effect for the visor. The best part about that is you don't even need to have it on for him to look good. It adds to the presence and it gives him some more flair and visual interest, but it is by no means essential. There's weathering from head to toe, he's covered in it, and the proportions are solid. They may not be one-to-one with the game, but I don't think he looks too skinny. People have said these commandos are scrawny and they look like they've missed a few meals. That's not something that's coming across to me in person. This figure has some serious presence. On the shelf, he's going to catch your eye for all of the best reasons. Up close and personal, kicking things off with Boss's bucket. Is it reuse? Of course it is. Everything here is reuse. Even the body underneath the armor, reuse. We first saw this helmet mold with the Imperial Commando from the Bad Batch, then with Scorch, and now with Boss. Sometimes there's a delta between accuracy and resemblance. I wish there wasn't, but I mean, these are the cards that we've been dealt. This helmet might not be 100% spot on to the video game model, shape, size, detail-wise. At least it heavily resembles Boss from Republic Commando. If they ever give us a true Republic Commando version of him that's not exclusive, will I pick it up? You bet I will. But for now, this is my Boss. The visor, currently not illuminated, but it still almost looks like it is because of the way they printed it. There's this gradient effect underneath the glossy finish over the top, and that tricks the eye into thinking that it's glowing, but when you turn on the LEDs, it enhances that effect. I wish I could have this illuminated permanently. I might reach out to Fusion Reactors and see if they've got some kind of kit for it. The paint applications, we've got this chalky white finish for the main body of the helmet, then a black wash, a lot of speckling, some scratches. The orange down the middle is a fiery, vibrant, burnt orange, and there's some sections where it comes across as though it's been chipped away. His blocky, chonky, geometric-looking Clone Commando backpack is so satisfying just to slap on his back and let the magnets take over. They must have beefed up the strength of their magnets because I could not do this with previous Clone Commandos. There's some detail on his back armor underneath it in case you display him without it, and even though it's big, because it's hollow, it doesn't add too much weight to the back of him. Getting him to balance in a pose, I don't think you'll struggle with it. You can still open up the backpack and store things inside of it without even having to remove it. Back around the front, there's this insert around the collar area with the ribbing and the leather grain texture on it. Don't worry, it's not leather, this is PVC plastic. The color scheme leans more orange for his right side versus his left. There's still some orange here, of course, but more of it over here with the shoulder pad. And there's some black markings on his armor plates. Let's talk about the dots, shall we? In the game, these dots were orange. Why are they red in 1/6 scale? Well, to be accurate to the Clone Wars model for Boss, they had to be red. That's why they're this color. I would have preferred orange, but I can't even say that they're not supposed to be red because in the show, which is technically a higher tier of canon than the game, they are red, and Hot Toys simply copied that. The weathering on the surface of the armor plating is next level. They usually don't go this extreme with the scratches and the pitting and the washes. I can't say that I'm mad at it though. Like, look at that. On the gauntlets, around the edges of the armor plates, and this stuff is textural. You can feel that chalkiness, that rough finish to the armor pieces as though they're actual worn pieces of armor, as though he's been stomping around the battlefield. His crotch plate is free floating, you can adjust it, the gauntlets move around too. The bicep guards are sort of fixed in place because the biceps underneath them are heavily foam padded. The shoulder pads are on elastic straps, but they don't do the heavy lifting keeping them on. Velcro pads underneath them, that's what secures them in place. Is he too skinny? He's a little skinny for the torso, but if you push the chest armor down and the waist armor up, then move the thigh plates to fill in that gap, he's not that skinny. At least I don't think he is. Weigh in down in the comments. Sculpt detail for his butt plate. There's even weathering back here. The thigh armor pieces have asymmetrical weathering on them. The knee pads, they're free floating. They are held on with elastic straps, not Velcro, so you can move them around a lot more freely than the shoulder pads. This stuff, you already know, is reuse. Sculpted tread on the underside for the boots, and, you guessed it, more weathering. For a quick side-by-side comparison, pinch me. Am I dreaming? Boss next to Scorch in 1/6 scale? As a kid, I played the shit out of Republic Commando in high school, and now that I'm starting to see the Delta Squad assemble in my collection, I could not be more excited to complete the set. The only real difference besides the color scheme and paint apps is Scorch has his backpack attachments and that bespoke blaster pistol. When we get the rest of Delta, I'm fully expecting them to also come with unique one-off accessories. Going over articulation, starting off with Boss's helmet. Ball joint at the base of the neck, double ball peg underneath the bucket itself, looking forward to there as you shift it forward on that neck piece. Up to there, just enough range for dynamic/running poses. Swivel and pivot side to side. Shoulder pads attached with Velcro backed up by elastic straps. Arms will go up to there, unhindered by those shoulder pads. Forward and back on soft ratchets. Butterfly joint at the shoulder that hinges up and down. Swivel at the bicep. Double bend at the elbow, getting you to maybe past 90. If you futz with this armor, the padding underneath the bicep guard prevents it from sliding up though. Then for the wrist peg, it's a ratcheted hinge and swivel. There's 3 pieces of sculpted plastic armor that are going to get in our way for the torso. Crunching forward, yeah, restricted to there, going back to there, further than forward at least. Swivel, and some pivot side to side. Its legs will go forward to there, but you can rotate the thigh armor and get a couple more clicks out of them. They do hinge out at the same time as forward though. Going out to there, swivel at the upper thigh. Double bend at the knee on soft ratchets, going past 90. That's further than I was expecting. Then split cut for the ankles, on double ball pegs for the feet, good for forward and back rotation, as well as some ankle tilt. Moving on to the 3 cool and 3 annoying things. The first annoying thing is the bases don't match, and it's driving me crazy. I'm a little OCD, I think we all are as collectors, and having Boss's base next to Scorch's, they're different colors, the weathering isn't the same, and even their nameplates both don't say Clone Commando or Clone Commander on them. Some more consistency would have been nice, is all I'm saying. The second annoying thing is probably not going to bother most people, but we came this close to greatness. How did they not give us this hand gesture for Boss, the 2-finger point? I'm still going to display him in the pointing pose, but it's not 100% accurate. Speaking of 100% accurate, the third annoying thing, these dots in-game are orange just like the rest of the markings on his armor, but in the Clone Wars they're red, so technically they're accurate to something, but I still would have preferred them to be orange just like everything else. The first cool thing, which is sort of a recurring cool thing in my Clone Commando videos, the visors look best with the LEDs turned on, but if the button cell batteries die on you, which they will, and the visor ends up just being off in your collection, they've printed it or painted it in a way, it's got this glowing look to it. From a distance, it almost tricks the eye into thinking that it is glowing, so it's displayable with the LEDs on or off. The second cool thing, you know me and my functional clone backpacks, being able to store accessories inside of it and switch out poses on the go. You don't have to grab the figure's box or an accessories tub to do that. Just icing on the cake. The third cool thing, raise your hand if you ever thought in your wildest dreams that Hot Toys would give us Republic Commandos, the Delta Squad, in this scale. I never thought it was going to happen. But here they are, 2 of 4, with the rest hopefully on the way. Wrapping up on Hot Toys, Clone Commando Boss. I never thought I'd be saying those words, from the Clone Wars. But nah, he's not from the Clone Wars. This is Boss from Republic Commando, arguably the main commando that you play as in the game. Should they have started the line with this piece? Yeah, but maybe there was some weird licensing stuff going on. Them having to brand Scorch as Bad Batch, then likely the rest of Delta as Clone Wars, is their sneaky way of getting around licensing restrictions, because Disney and Lucasfilm, they treat canon as different tiers and levels. So the expanded universe video game stuff is at a lower level versus Delta's TV show appearance in Clone Wars, for example. That's why, to give us Delta Squad in the first place, that was the concession they had to make, branding and styling these figures after their appearances in the Clone Wars. Is there enough Republic Commando-ness about both Boss and Scorch that they still work as representations from the game? I think so. But that's going to vary from collector to collector. You need to ask yourself, when is it going to be good enough? We all chase perfection. I'm guilty of it. We're all guilty of it. But quite often, perfection is the thief of joy. Do I get joy from looking at Boss rotating around in front of me on the turntable in sick poses? Unquestionably, undoubtedly, I do. This figure is now going front and center on my Star Wars video game shelf, even though there are little inaccuracies and some big inaccuracies. So at the end of this video, if you missed out on Scorch, can Boss solo on your shelf? Presence, proportions, the light up visor, the sick Commando blaster? Yeah, he can, no problem. Now, I got mine at a discount from Pop Collectibles. I've popped a link to their site in the description, along with the discount code Justin's Collection, for 5% off your order if you decide to buy from them. As always, do your own research, make sure you're comfortable before buying. If you're heading down to the description, why not hit that subscribe, bell notification icon, and join button if you like the sound of seeing your name in the end credits of my reviews. Like, comment, and subscribe. We'll catch you in the next video.